Hello, my people. We have come again. This time, not for interview. This time, not for prank. This time, not to promote anybody, but to give you tips for healthy living. Now, we all know that once men start growing from age 40 and above, once you have gotten to 40 and above, there are things you need to do in order to keep fit and keep good standing health. And these exercises are good for you. Now, as a man, you are not supposed to be sleeping all day anymore. As a man, you need to work on your mental ability and also to work on your physical ability. And that is why, as a man, 3 a.m. you should have woken up. And besides, as a man, you don't need to stay out too long before you go to bed. Early to bed, they say, is also early to rise. So by 7, 8 p.m. in the evening, you ought to have gone to bed. So that by 3 a.m., you should have woken up. And that is the point where you start your work for the day. And how do you start your work? When you wake up in the morning by that 3 a.m., the first thing you do, you take a glass, not just a glass, but a bottle of water. The Aquafina bottled water is a good measurement for you. If you take one full bottle of Aquafina bottled water, you make sure you gulp it and empty it. So that while you are trying to update or do some other works in that morning, because that's the time for you to think, and if you are working on the internet, that is when the internet are faster. So while you are doing that, you would have been able to go ease yourself a couple of good times in that morning. Then after some time, maybe after an hour after taking the water, then you will now start exercising your limbs. Now, you know that from the body of the man, from the head to the toe, you need to be doing physical exercises. You have to exercise your limbs, your hands, your neck, your head, your waist, particularly because men, when they have gotten up to 40 and above, you see that the waist will begin to start becoming stiff. If you don't exercise it enough, you see that at a point it will be very stiff. And you exercise your legs and your toe, and you have to keep standing and walking all day. So the first exercise you do in the morning when you wake up, you stay in your sofa to look for, because normally at that age you start having back pain. So this is when you lie down on the sofa, suspending your neck and your leg on the sofa for a couple of minutes. Then when you suspend your neck and your leg on the sofa, you discover that when you get up, you see that you feel very relieved on your back here. Then the next thing you do is to go back to another sofa where you suspend your waist on the sofa and you put your back on it in such a way that the waist will be there. You stay in that position for another couple of minutes. You do the counting yourself so that you'll be able to, you see, everybody cannot stay at the same time stretch. So your capability, don't overdo, don't try to stay beyond because others are staying. Do what you are capable to do at every point in time. You can begin to increase at different times. Then after exercising the waist, there where you stay, then you can now begin to look for a way to lift your legs up to your head and back. You do that for some time. Again, lift your leg up to your head and back. Then after doing that, it's a way of also strengthening your waist. Then when you have done that, you will now sit on the edge of the sofa, put your hand on your back, and you go down and back for some time. Then thereafter, after doing that, you will now go up and you will now begin to do a kind of, on the sofa, you can do a push-up with your hand on the sofa and you put your body down to make sure that you are able to exercise. It's a way of push-up, but it's a way of exercising your hands to keep it firm all the time. Then after doing that, you will stretch your neck, do it in such a way that will strengthen and keep your neck in good shape. And if you do the exercise of the neck also, it also strengthens the brain and liberates you from constant headache and fatigue. Then after you have done that, you go to another stage. where you will now touch your toe for some minutes. You know, some men at certain age, maybe after some time, your stomach would have started being an obstacle to your ability to even lace your shoe. That is where you need this exercise. You stay on your toe for some minutes and back. Then after touching your toe, then you will now do another thing to make sure you exercise your limb, because there's something about men at that age, 40, 50, 60. We discover that their joints here will begin to ache, especially if you want to climb the stair. You see, you have to jump in order to be able to climb the stair. But this time, you have to exercise your limb. Stay on your one position and you do this, constantly for some couple of minutes. That will help you again to strengthen your limbs here. Then having done that, you strengthen your side, your waist to the side and to the other side and to the back. Then to wrap it up, you will now do a push-up. Put your hand on the ground and you do a press up for some couple of minutes. You just do a counting and know the number of press up you can do. Some can do 10, some can do 20, some can do 50, 80, 100, depending on your capability. But trust me, if you are doing it for the first time, don't try to do excess, because you will just crash and you will not even be able to come back another day. After doing a push-up, then you go down on your knees, put your legs behind, then take your body back to your head to the ground. Now trust me, I'm going to show you how we are going to do these exercises. But when you do this every morning after taking the water therapy, you see that by the end of the day you will be sweating so much that, one, you will liberate yourself from this constant ache around your waist, your neck and your body. You will be free from frequent malaria, because whether you like it or not, in this part of the world we are being feasted by mosquitoes and malaria is the order of the day. But if you do these daily exercises, trust me, malaria will flee from you. So just now, let us go in there and start the exercise so that you will see how these exercises are done.